Okay, let's set the scene. It's a Tuesday, or maybe a Thursday. The days have started to blur into one long caffeinated sigh. I'm standing in my kitchen, staring into the refrigerator, not because I'm hungry, but because the cold air feels like the only thing holding my molecules together. My phone buzzes on the counter, a notification flashing with the cheerful tyranny of a deadline I've already started to mourn. And in that moment, with the hum of the fridge as my witness, a single, profound thought lands in my brain. I am one more just checking in. Email away from legally changing my name and moving to a remote cabin where the only Wi-Fi is a connection I have with a local judgmental squirrel. Yeah, that was it. That was the moment I knew. I wasn't just tired. I was spiritually threadbare. My soul had not only left the building, it had packed a tiny suitcase, left a vague note, and was currently hitchhiking its way to a new dimension. This wasn't your garden variety exhaustion. This was burnout, the deep tissue existential kind, the kind that makes you feel like a ghost haunting your own life. So, because I'm a millennial and my primary coping mechanism is weaponized organization, I did the only thing that made sense. I opened a new spreadsheet. Today, we're diving headfirst into the habits that pulled me back from the brink of becoming emotional dust. Because, let's be honest, burnout isn't a sign of weakness. It's the inevitable result of trying to be a superhero in a world that forgot to give you a cape, or even a decent lunch break. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the anatomy of the breakdown. How did I even get here? It was a slow burn, a quiet creep. I was a disciple of the hustle, a high priestess at the altar of productivity. My daily affirmations were just my to-do list, whispered with increasing panic. I was romanticizing the grind, convincing myself that sleeping 4 hours a night was a personality trait. I was on all the time, a 24/7 performance of competence and cheerfulness. Every time someone asked, "How are you?" I'd chirp, "So busy, but good," which is the universal code for my internal monologue is just a continuous, high-pitched scream. I genuinely believed that burnout was something dramatic, like fainting in a boardroom while the string quartet plays a somber tune. But it's not. Burnout is quiet. It's subtle. It's the color draining from your world until everything feels like a grayscale indie film you didn't ask to be in. It's getting weirdly angry at the sound of your own keyboard clicking. It's opening your laptop and feeling a wave of exhaustion so profound you need to lie down for a business quarter. It's the feeling of being perpetually behind, even when you don't know what you're racing against. I kept pushing, fueled by a dangerous cocktail of caffeine and denial, like a cartoon character who has run off a cliff but hasn't looked down yet. And then one day I looked down. The crash wasn't cinematic. It was me sitting in my car in a grocery store parking lot, holding a single avocado and wondering if this was all there was. It was a full system shutdown. This led directly to what I now call the optimization delusion. This is the phase where my burnt out brain decided the solution to being overwhelmed by tasks was more tasks. But this time with apps. I downloaded project management tools, habit trackers, and digital well-being journals. I created a Notion dashboard so complex it could have launched a small satellite, with my trauma neatly categorized and color-coded. I was convinced that if I could just find the right system, the right life hack, I could optimize my way out of a spiritual crisis. Spoiler alert, you can't put a band-aid on a soul wound. You can't biohack your way out of needing a goddamn break. I was treating rest as a prize I had to earn, a little treat for being a good little productivity machine. I was stuck in a vicious loop. Burn out, crash, feel guilty, download a new app, promise to do better, and then burn out all over again, this time with more aesthetically pleasing charts. It was during this phase that I had a long, hard look in the mirror and said, "My friend, you are not a robot. You are a fragile, sentient plant that needs water and sunlight and is currently being watered with Red Bull," and that's when the real shift began. There was no lightning bolt, no dramatic mountaintop revelation. It was a quiet surrender. I just got so tired of being tired. You know that specific level of exhaustion where even your anxiety is like, you know what? I'm taking a personal day. You're on your own, kid. That's where I was. I realized I didn't need more hacks. I needed habits. I didn't need a perfectly curated morning routine for Instagram. I needed simple, sturdy guardrails to keep me from driving my own sanity off a cliff every other week. So I built them, 7 of them. They aren't glamorous. They won't go viral, but they were the life rafts that carried my brain back to shore. And now I'm passing them to you. First, the morning no-go zone. We all have a to-do list. I want you to start with a to-don't list. This is a sacred contract you make with yourself each morning. A list of things you will absolutely not do for the sake of your own peace. My list includes things like no checking email for the first hour I'm awake. No scrolling through social media feeds that make me feel like I'm failing at life before I've even had coffee. No engaging in pointless arguments in the comments section of a news article. This isn't about being lazy. It's about being strategic with your energy. It's about building a fortress around your morning peace. Think of it this way. Boundaries are just self-respect in action. And sometimes the most productive thing you can do is protect your own headspace from the noise. Second, I implemented the mandatory useless hour every single day. I schedule 1 hour where I am gloriously, unapologetically useless. I call it my sentient blob time. During this hour, my only goal is to have no goal. I might lie on the floor and watch dust particles dance in a sunbeam. I might listen to an entire album from my teenage years and feel deeply nostalgic. I might just sit and stare out the window. There is no pressure to achieve, to learn, to improve, to create. It's about letting my brain off the leash. Because our culture has sold us the lie that our value is tied to our output. It's not. Rest is not a reward. It's a fundamental human requirement, like breathing. And for the record, mindlessly scrolling your phone for an hour doesn't count. That's not rest. That's just numbing. It's like trying to quench your thirst by drinking a bottle of hot sauce. It's stimulating, sure, but it's not hydrating. Third, the 5-minute fix. When your entire life feels like a dumpster fire, the thought of cleaning it all up is paralyzing. So don't. Instead, practice the 5-minute fix. Pick one tiny, insignificant thing and make it better. Clean off just your nightstand. Answer one email you've been dreading. Organize the junk drawer. Just one. I call it an islet of order in an ocean of chaos. It's a powerful psychological trick. It's a way of proving to your overwhelmed brain that you're still capable of making a positive impact, no matter how small. It's a reminder that you still have agency. And let's be real. Sometimes clearing out your inbox is a hell of a lot easier than clearing out your childhood trauma. Start small. Small victories are still victories. Fourth on my list is scheduled absurdity. You need to listen to me on this one. Once a week, schedule something utterly pointless and joyful. I'm talking about deep, delusional fun. Go to a park and swing on the swings. Buy a pack of crayons and a coloring book and go to town. Have a solo dance party in your living room to cheesy 80s music. Burnout thrives in the soil of self-seriousness. It feeds on deadlines and responsibilities and the crushing weight of adulthood. Play is the antidote. Play is an act of rebellion against the tyranny of the urgent. It's a reminder that there is a part of you that exists outside of your job title and your obligations. Joy isn't a frivolous luxury. In the face of burnout, it's a revolutionary act of self-preservation. Fifth, and this one is critical, is the 3-person lifeline. Burnout is an isolationist. It wants you alone. It convinces you that no one understands and that you're a burden. You must fight this. Identify 3 people in your life. Not 300 Instagram followers, not a group chat that communicates only in memes. 3 actual humans you can text with the simple, unvarnished truth. I am not okay right now. 3 people who know the specific frequency of your crisis mode and will pick up the phone without question. These friendships are your emotional immune system. Nurture them, Water them. Feed them. Your Lifeline crew is the firewall between you and the abyss. Don't ever forget that dot six is my emotional housekeeping ritual. This one might sound a little dramatic, but it's a game changer. I set aside a specific time each week. For me, it's usually Sunday evening, to intentionally process the emotional clutter I've ignored. Sometimes this looks like journaling, just dumping all the messy, incoherent feelings onto a page. Sometimes it's putting on a sad playlist and letting myself have a good, cathartic cry. Sometimes it's just sitting in silence and asking myself, what am I actually feeling right now? It's like taking out the emotional trash. If you let it pile up, it starts to stink. It turns into resentment, anxiety, and a vague, unnamed grief. You have to clean it out regularly. And finally, number 7. This is my existential reset button. Whenever I feel that familiar, crispy feeling of burnout creeping back in, I stop and ask myself one powerful question. What would I do differently if I truly believed I was already enough? Just sit with that for a second. Because so much of our burnout doesn't come from the work itself. It comes from the frantic, desperate, unending effort to prove our worth. Proving we're smart enough, productive enough, successful enough, just enough. We hustle for our worthiness. But what if you didn't have to? What if your worth was inherent and non-negotiable? You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn joy. You don't have to earn love. You are worthy of it all right now, exactly as you are. Here's the tiny piece of wisdom they don't put in the productivity books. You can be passionate about your work and still be drowning. You can be incredibly grateful for your life and still be completely overwhelmed. You can be a high-functioning, successful person on the outside and be crumbling on the inside. Burnout isn't a personal failing. It's a signal. It's a bright, flashing neon sign from your body and your soul screaming, hey, the way we are doing this is not sustainable. It's a distress flare from a nervous system that was designed for a different world, trying its best to navigate the chaos of late-stage capitalism. So, for the love of all that is holy, give yourself a little grace. So, let me just end with this final thought. If you've watched this far, I see you. You're probably nodding along, maybe with a lump in your throat because you're so damn tired. You're probably wearing the same sweatpants you've had on for 3 days and calling it a work-from-home uniform. But I want you to lean in close, like we're the last 2 people at a party, sharing a secret in the quiet of the kitchen. You are not your productivity score. You are not your inbox count. You are not a human resource. You are not an algorithm in a skin suit trying to maximize efficiency. You are a messy, beautiful, complicated human being made of stardust and snacks and half-forgotten dreams. You are a creature that feels things so deeply it sometimes hurts. You laugh at stupid jokes. You cry during commercials. You have moments of breathtaking clarity at 3 a.m. and moments of complete confusion at 3 p.m. And that is what makes you magnificent. You are allowed to be unproductive. You are allowed to be still. You are allowed to do the most radical thing of all in our modern world. Simply be, without striving. You do not need to shatter into a million pieces to finally give yourself permission to be gentle with yourself. You don't have to earn softness. You don't have to break, deserve to heal. Burnout doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've been strong for too long. It means you've been carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours alone, and you forgot that you are allowed to set it down. Let that really land. You are not lazy. You are not weak. You are not falling behind. You are depleted because you have been trying so hard for so long in a world that claps for exhaustion and treats rest like a sin. But rest is your birthright. Sleep is a sacred ritual. Lying on the floor and questioning your life choices is a holy act. So please cancel the plan. Take the nap. Stare at a wall. Be the potato. If your brain feels like it's on fire, the bravest thing you can possibly do is stop throwing more wood on it. You have one life, one mind, one precious, weird, and wonderful heart. And it deserves to be treated with more kindness than you've been giving it. You don't have to do more to be more. You are enough. You have always been enough. Now go drink a glass of water. Take a deep breath. You're doing okay. I promise.